Baseball Sports presents coverage of Northwest Suburban Conference boys hockey. And tonight it is a matchup between the Osseo Orioles and the Robbinsdale Armstrong Falcons. From New Hope Ice Arena, John Jacobson and Dan Ficken along with Lindsey Gensel for tonight's game. And Dan, neither of these teams enjoying a lot of wins this year. Armstrong started out pretty good, but they've had a tough January. Osseo, for their season, just 3 wins in the season. But both coaching staffs feel the teams are improving and are optimistic their teams can get a W tonight.
No, they really are. I was kind of surprised, especially Osseo. It's a junior and senior laden team, and it's not been a good year at all. You'd think they'd be a little down, but they've been playing better. They did a good job against Blaine last week, kept the game very close, and they're getting better. So they're looking to make a push now. They're 1 game behind, or 2 games behind Armstrong right now. They want to get tied with them or ahead of them for section seeding. Armstrong, the good news is it's a very young team. It's all 10 freshmen and sophomores. So really, Coach Charleston's really happy with the way they're progressing, and they just got to keep their heads up, keep working hard, trying to get better, because in the next 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be a pretty good hockey team.
These teams have played once this season at Osseo's arena. Armstrong won that game 6-1, but neither coach expects the same thing tonight.
Well, Osseo got a little frustrated. Kind of a tough road to hoe. They got in the box a lot, and they gave Armstrong a lot of power play opportunities. And when you do that, John, you do 2 things. You give up goals and you get tired, and that's not a good formula. It's not going to be the same tonight. I expect a very close game tonight.
Let's look at our key players tonight, starting with the Osseo Orioles and one of their top goal scorers this year. They got a couple guys with 11 goals on the year. It's Ben Christopherson.
He's done a heck of a job this year. He's gotten some goals at key moments, kept him in a few games, but they've only scored 39 goals, so when him and another person scored 22 of the 39, they got a little problem there. So he needs to help pick it up. It's a good first line. He's on the power play. We'll have to watch how it goes through him.
And for Armstrong, a junior by the name of Corey Gilbert, one of their assistant captains.
He's the center on the sophomore, junior, senior first line for the Falcons. He's had a good year, 14 points, but he's got 3 power play goals with that group, and he keeps moving the puck around. He works with their top senior, hard worker. He's not a real hard skill set, but just works his tail off. You'll see him motoring around a lot. He's a pest.
Dan, I think for teams when they get in the losing mode, they get down, but they look, I think both of these clubs tonight will look at, hey, here's a chance for us to win a game, and that gets the kids up. They're ready to go. They're ready to play tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, they're realistic. They know they're not in the same league with Blaine and Elk River and stuff. This is an opportunity. They tend to play hard in these games. Practices go better that week. Coaches are looking better because we've got an opportunity. We can make some changes, and we see who emerges here for both teams. And remember, we got that second season coming. That's always a redemption factor. Remember, Champlain Park knocked off the #1 seed last year. Why not one of these 2 teams?
We'll see what happens in this one tonight. Osseo Armstrong will face it off in a moment here at New Hope Ice Arena. Stay tuned. Our live coverage of boys hockey comes your way next on Channel 12.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back to live coverage of boys hockey on this Thursday night. Osseo getting ready to face off against Armstrong. John Jacobson and Dan Ficken up here at center ice. Ringside for us tonight is Lindsey Gensel. Let's go down to her now.
Thanks, guys. Before the game, I joked with Coach Willie and Coach Fino about how it might be bad luck for them considering the last time I covered one of their games, it didn't go so well for them, but things might go differently for them tonight. You know, it's been almost 2 months since these two teams have met. And what I found really interesting talking to Coach Stan Charleston before the game is he was very careful about not showing any overconfidence about how Armstrong's going to do tonight. You know, a big 6-1 win for them back in 2013, but it could be anyone's game tonight depending on how things start off. I would, you know, say let's do a friendly predictions, but I don't like to be wrong, and with Dan up there, I don't really trust how things would turn out for me.
Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, one of you might have to leave the building tonight for bad luck. Armstrong got beat here last Saturday when you were here with Jay Wilcox, and Lindsay was with us last week. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and face this one off from New Hope Ice Arena after this timeout.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Oh, hey, bud. Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The action team.
Action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
The torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
The American dream need not forever be deferred.
This is the richest, the most powerful country.
From New Hope Ice Arena, ready to drop the puck in this Northwest Suburban Conference game. Osseo 3-14-1 on the season. They are 2-10-0 in the Northwest Suburban. Armstrong 7-9 overall, 3-8-0 in the Northwest Suburban. Look at our starting goalies tonight. Connor Dahlberg for Osseo's played almost every game for them. Goals against average 4.33 and save percentage of .869. But his play, Dan, has improved as this season has gone on.
He's done really well. They've pretty much been outshot by most of the teams they've played, and he's held them in the games. So that percentage, it doesn't take much to get it up above 9%.
And for the Armstrong Falcons, sophomore Keegan Odell, 7-7 on the year. His goals against 4.16 and a save percentage just under 86%. So we're ready to face off in this one. Mason Hadaloff for Osseo against Corey Gilbert of Armstrong. And we are underway. Falcons controlling the opening face-off. They turn it over. Here's a chance for Osseo, and firing it high over the net was Rudy Alexander. Puck jammed at the side of the Falcons' net and picked up by Gilbert for Armstrong. Up on the left wing and chipped ahead into the zone by Josh Adams. Played back behind the net. Osseo turning it over. Adams getting a shot, and the save by Dahlberg. So each team with an early turnover, Dan, in the first 27 seconds.
Boy, a little sloppy right off the bat for both teams, and both teams having an opportunity. Alexander with a shot. Really, that first shot, you got to hit the net. You really got to hit the net here. Put the pressure on them, maybe drop a rebound. You see Armstrong getting an opportunity here. Bing, bing, and got shot on Dahlberg. He held the pipe really nice, and then finally put a quick after giving him 2 shots.
Face-off win for Armstrong in the Osseo zone, dumping it back behind the Orioles net. Osseo gaining control will play it out to center ice and down into the Falcon zone. And icing. They'll bring it back down to the Orioles end. Look at Kevin Willey, one of the co-head coaches for Osseo, now in 6th year. Osseo high school graduate. Terrific hockey player back in the day, Dan, for the Orioles, wasn't he?
He was a heck of a player. He was an All-American at St. John's University. Really nice guy. Good to see him come back to the program.
Osseo trying to push it out past their blue line.
I'll be interested in seeing here now if Armstrong can play a little more physical, because when they played Andover about a week ago, they did well when they got physical, but when they weren't playing physical, they really got run on pretty good. And it might be a key for them to get some opportunities here against the Orioles.
Puck play to the left corner. Nick Holscher trying to get it for Armstrong. Does get it back to the blue line. Blocked, and back comes Osseo. Zach Heiser into the zone on the left wing. Heiser carries deep for the Orioles. Circles around, back behind the net. Top of the right circle. High slot, shot away. Stop made by Odell. Heiser getting onto it again. Overskated the puck at the boards. And back come the Falcons. Thomas Barber, the sophomore, dumping it in. Dahlberg making the save and steering it to the corner. Orioles play it out to center. And chip down into the Orioles end. Dahlberg will play it around near boards. And Osseo breaks out with it to center. Comes Funfar. Funfar down back behind the net. Chase with the puck in the corner. Banks it out to the blue line. Return pass goes back behind the net. Jared Vance there. Off to Funfar, the blue line. And then back again behind the Armstrong net. Funfar to Vance. Turns the pass one more time. Funfar off. Left point, A.J. Lyons trying to keep it in. Can't. Armstrong comes away with it. Here's Gilbert. Lost the puck as it came into the zone. Will be skated down by Lyons in the corner. And Lyons will skate it up the left wing. Out to center ice and banks it into the Armstrong zone as the Orioles go off for a line change. Puck loose back behind the net before Mitchell Verbaeten takes it. Verbaeten pushing the pass ahead. And rolls back out to center. And will shoot it into the Osseo zone. Played up to center ice. Rudy Alexander into the zone. Left wing pass. Shot deflected off of Christofferson's stick. Goes back behind the Armstrong net. Alexander centering pass, and the shot didn't quite get all the way on to Odell. Orioles still keep the puck in the zone.
There's a good play there by Ledeen on the defense. He snuck down deep down in that slot, John. When they're not scoring goals, sneaking the defense down the slot and giving an extra guy in front can make a difference in scoring some extra goals.
Shot away, Odell that time making a save on Ledeen. Back behind the net, centering attempt by Hadala. Hit the back of the Armstrong net. He'll get it again. Now gets a pass off, a shot away, and either the pipe or the stick of Odell. From the blue line, Ledeen fires it wide. And finally, the Armstrong Falcons able to clear it out of the zone. And this will be icing on Armstrong.
We've seen some real efficient puck control by the Osseo Oilers here, John, in the first part of this period. Get a good look at Mark Fino, another Osseo alum. Did a nice job at Bemidji State. I think he was a captain his senior year and played a little pro hockey. Again, another alumni coming back and taking care of the program.
Orioles keeping control down in the Armstrong zone. The Falcons now get it, push it to the corner. Will Lawson trying to get it out of the zone, comes out to center. Gilbert got it into the Orioles end and then cleared back out to center. Taken by Adams, plays it down into the Osseo end, and Dahlberg will leave it back behind the net. And back out to the blue line, broken up and skated by Seth Yonkers. Ahead, here's a shot away, and Odell makes the save on the shot from Heiser. Heiser gains control again, sidesteps a would-be check, plays it off the boards to the corner, taken there by Gonrowski, played out to center, tipped ahead, and it's too far. It's icing as it went off of Jay Norgard's stick, and we'll bring it back down the other way to look at Dan Charleston, now second year head coach at Armstrong. We talked about the young team that they've got. He's got some talent to work with, but it's mostly younger guys who need to grow physically and just get used to the varsity level experience.
It's challenging. I mean, he's very optimistic about his program. I love talking to coaches like that who know that we're not quite there yet, but we can see it coming, and the way he mentally works these kids to make him believe is, kind of a challenge. He's really a fun guy to talk to.
Play back to the Osseo zone. Cameron Perna banked out to center down into the Armstrong end. This will go through the crease, so no icing on Osseo. Comes Jack Piazza. Has it back behind his net, skating away from Vance. Play up to the blue line now. Holscher will skate it in left side. Holscher up and a nice check by A.J. Lyons. Centering attempt intercepted by Osseo, and back come the Orioles the other way. Jacob Lang will shoot it down into the Armstrong zone. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the opening period. Scoreless game between Osseo and Armstrong. Second of two regular season meetings between these clubs. Play comes out to center ice. Chance for Osseo. Christofferson and up into the netting, out of play.
Boy, Osseo is just really kind of taking this third of the ice and just really making it their own. They're coming back, causing some turnovers, really taking advantage of the Falcons' young defense. It's mostly 9th and 10th graders are back on defense, as Coach Charleston told us before the game, but they're getting better. But this is one area where Osseo is really dominating, and they're getting it down low and really working that defense.
Face-off win for the Falcons. Vaulted out to the blue line, played by Hadala back into the zone. Hadala getting it again, and just off the stick ahead because he played it ahead to Alexander, but Pretty couldn't quite reach it. Now from the blue line, shot away, and Odell with the stop on Tyler Stroh's shot.
Good puck movement by the Orioles. They got it up top, and the center had to reach out, got it, but he got the shot off. But here's where Odell's doing well. Look at where he's sitting, John, right there above that crease. He's not sitting back in that net at all, cutting down the angle, and then he smothered it with all the bodies around him. Good, smart play by the young sophomore goaltender.
Gilbert and Heiser facing off. One by Heiser that comes in and he scores. Zach Heiser, the junior, scoring. And Armstrong, Osseo takes a 1-0 lead on Armstrong.
Nice face-off win. Finally, they got in and got a shot in on net, nice and tight. 2 Orioles right in on Odell. He's kind of left hanging, and bang, just pounds it away into the lower left-hand corner. And puts the Orioles up on top, 1-0. You know, John, I'll tell you what, when we were talking about teams that are losing and having that, mental situation they got to go through, boy, I'll tell you what, scoring the first goal, big mental edge, big mental lift to give your team. We'll see how the Armstrong Falcons now respond to this young team.
.736 the time of the goal, giving Osseo the 1-0 lead. Heiser unassisted. Falcons come back. Josh Adams into the zone. Centering pass out in front. Backhander going wide off the stick of Gergen. Orioles get it back. Stromberg ahead left side. Yonkers is pushed by Gower. Out to the blue line. Puck free. And then back down to the Orioles end. Third wide to the boards. Round back behind the Osseo net. Back out to the blue line. Shot away. Deflected up high. Good stop by Dahlberg. And Jack McDonough's shot.
We'll see this key face-off win here. Basically, Heiser just gets it on and he goes top shelf on the left-hand side and tight. Odell was just kind of left hanging again, but nice goal, way to put it away. But we're getting a good response here, John, from the Falcons. They've penetrated, they've got it in the outside zone. They got a good shot off. They need to get a guy in front of Dahlberg now. He saw that last shot way too easily.
Heiser's second goal of the season. That has given the Orioles a 1-0 lead. Past the midway point now, the opening period. Orioles getting a rush. Shot gets blocked by McDonough. It's back behind his net. He's got it in the corner. Now will skate it out. Makes the pass on the right side, trying to hit Norgard with it. Orioles get it back from center. Alexander moves it in deep, centering it out in front. Now it's played back behind the net. Holscher going after it for Armstrong to the blue line. And then back to the Falcons. The Holscher with it at center. Holscher trying to move it in 1-on-3. Gets poked away from him by Ledeen out to center. And Verbatim will shoot it in as he gets checked at center ice. Orioles gonna move it out. Perna pushing it up left side. Out to center ice. And knocked ahead by Alexander, coming in with a shot, and he fires it high. Up along the dasher, kept in at the blue line, and a good play by Stromberg. Alexander fighting in the corner for control of the puck with Verbatim as Armstrong comes out. Rolls back at, shoots it down into the Osseo end. Dahlberg back behind his net. Now the Orioles able to break out. Get it to center ice, into the zone. Donrowski, the freshman, had it for Armstrong. Now it's Gower with it. Up to Flex, comes back. Lost out in front, a chance in front of the Armstrong net. Scramble for the puck. And then taken back by the Falcons. Gilbert got it ahead to the Osseo line with a good play there by Stroh to play it back to the Armstrong end.
Heiser almost had an opportunity to have a second goal there, John, on a turnover right in front.
Been a good start, Dan, for an Osseo team that comes in with just 3 wins on the season. Had some scoring chances, the 1 goal so far, and they've been solid defensively, really not allowing a lot of pucks to get back to Connor Dahlberg.
Yeah, I think that first shift was the only time we've seen Dahlberg really stressed, and after that, he's seen everything. They've taken good control of the game, and they're not being loose with the puck. They're winning face-offs and moving it around.
Falcons come back. Norgard puts out in front. And another chance from the slot, and the save made. McDonough's shot was blocked by Dahlberg comes up with another save. Play back behind the Osseo net. Now the Falcons starting to get some pressure. Comes out to the side of the goal again off of Norgard's stick. He gets checked behind the net by Vance. Out in front, a centering attempt is broken up by the Orioles, intercepted by Lang. Ahead to the Armstrong line. Poked off the stick of Hoban and out of the zone. Osseo's got to regroup. Now Holscher for Armstrong. Drops the pass back for McDonough. Sliding it across. It's now Verbatim. Oh, it's a turnover, Dan, right in front of the net.
Scared me to death there for a minute. I'm sorry.
Verbatim. Back for McDonough and up to the blue line and out to the Osseo line. And shot into the zone by Verbatim. Armstrong makes a change. Lyons behind his net. Now it's Gergen. Back out, high slot. Cleared away by Piazza to the corner. Piazza keeping the puck in the zone. Drops to the corner, Gergen. Banked out. Comes out of the zone, race for the puck back in the Armstrong end. Getting there first. Will Lawson, the sophomore D. Jack McDonough, the junior, number 8, Dan, for Armstrong. The oldest defenseman on the team. He's a junior. No senior D. He's the only junior. The rest of them sophomore and freshman.
You can really tell, although I like the way they move the puck, but they're making some dangerous moves at experience. So, you know, you put it behind the net. Don't put it walk it in front of the net like they have a couple of times. But that's been kind of their poison this year, having the young D learn by attrition and playing in the conference games.
Osseo playing it to the blue line. Puck came out of the zone. Ottawa play it off the boards ahead to Alexander. Play down into the Falcons' end. We're inside of 4 minutes to play here in the first period. Heiser and pushed into the zone by Ledeen. Around the boards. Heiser getting after it, lost it. Back come the Falcons now. And Burns, excuse me, that's Kyle Sweeney bringing the puck in the zone on the left side. Osseo gains control of the puck back. Yonkers got it to center, chipped ahead to the Armstrong line. McDonough there, lost the puck. Here's Yonkers back for Osseo, dropping it back. Shot going wide off of Josh Stromberg's stick. Puck put out in front of the net, but right onto the stick of Verbatim, who got it for Armstrong. Around back behind the Falcons goal. Brought up right side, rose back into the Orioles zone. Dahlberg leaving it for Lyons, quickly turns his man up the wing. Good play on Gilbert's part to break up the play for Osseo. The Orioles regained control, but then Gilbert gets it back for Armstrong again. Here's a shot. Save made, and the rebound and getting it across is Dahlberg to make the stop.
Beautiful save by Dahlberg on Adams there, right on the door. It came across on him. He lost track of it, and Adams is just coming. Sophomore right for watch 13 here now. Puck will come and just off his skate. Oh, tried to get it to his stick, and Dahlberg got back and made the save. That was the Armstrong's best opportunity so far, John, except for that first one in the first part of the period. This first line's got to take charge here now. We get into the last 2:30 here in the period.
As Gergen had the initial shot, and Adams on the rebound try. Orioles though quickly back offensively. Hoban drop pass to the blue line. Shot going high off of Stroh's stick behind the Armstrong net. Now it's Vance. And Armstrong able to take it away. Here's Gergen, the captain, coming down the right side. Cole Gergen to the slot. A shot, and he fired it past Dahlberg and wide of the Osseo net. Ledeen with it. Now up at center ice. Brought ahead by Funfar. Down into the Armstrong zone. Back behind the net. Left boards, it's Barber. Ahead, and out to center comes Holscher. Hits the Osseo line, lost it. Good defense by Ben Christopherson to take the puck away. Puck chipped down into the Armstrong zone. Christopherson after it. Has control of it, goes to the left corner with it. Christopherson turning, fires it on net. Odell with the easy save there. Puck goes to the corner. We're down to a minute and a half to play in this first period. Chance for Osseo, shot from the circle. And Alexander missed the net. Armstrong coming back. This is Norgard's shot away. Glove save Dahlberg. And hangs on for the whistle.
We were talking to Coach Charleston too. He'd like to see this number 2 line with Norgard, Holscher, and Barber to really start adding in and putting some pieces in. Holscher's had a pretty good year, but he slowed down in the past 3 games. Hasn't had a point. Barber was really pretty good against Andover, as he did get a goal, but they need a little more consistent scoring from them.
Osseo able to push it out of their zone after the face-off in their own end, and an icing call, or excuse me, an offside call on the Orioles.
Hoddle, I think, was one offside there. That was a basic mistake.
Hoddle and Gilbert on the face-off.
Falcons got their, both teams got their top lines out here for the last minute 8.
Christopherson from the blue line will play it to the corner. Armstrong's McDonough got it there. McDonough behind his net. Started out left side to Verbatim. Head to center. Into the Orioles zone. Played off to the corner by Perna. Down in the Osseo zone. Armstrong controlling, shot from the circle, and it's deflected up and out of play off the stick of Will Lawson. Get a face-off with 32 seconds left in the period.
Nice play by the Falcons here, John. They moved it around good, but Lawson came in a little high. Second glove save made by Dahlberg, which was pretty easy to save him. Maybe get it down in the pads. Maybe a rebound will come out with the Falcons in front and get an opportunity in close.
Barber shooting it down into the Osseo end. Down to 25 seconds to go in the period. Out come the Orioles at center. Here's Heiser through center ice. Shot away. Odell with the save. Another 10 seconds to play. And one more shot at it. Heiser one more time with a rush. Goes to the backhand and Odell sprawls on, makes the save. Net comes off. That'll bring a whistle with 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left.
Oh my gosh, Heiser's on fire this period, John. Oh my gosh. Second opportunity on the shift instead of shooting. At this time he comes, tries to put it right out in front and jam it in, and Odell was up to it though. Sophomore goalie holding out, getting that arm stretched out and making a nice save, keeping it to a 1-goal deficit. This is what the Orioles are looking for, John. This second line has really played well tonight so far. They've got him on the board and they've really pressed hard.
End of the period. Strong start for the Osseo Orioles. Osseo getting the edge in shots on goal, 11-10. It seems a little high for Armstrong, but that's the numbers they announced. Our score after 1, Osseo 1, Armstrong nothing. We'll take a break. Lindsay will be back with the ringside interview in a moment. You're watching live coverage of Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Hockey on Channel 12. Osseo leads Armstrong 1-0 after 1. Let's go back down to Lindsay Gensel.
Guys, We're with Coach Willie. A great start for your guys. And Zach Heiser, what a first period for him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's flying, and it's actually his second game of playing forward here this year. So, he's a big, skilled guy, and, we need to get him more involved, and it's his first game actually playing center, and, he's getting after. He's just flying out there, so it's good to see.
You guys had a lot of really good looks in the first period, and you're heading out with a 1-0 lead after one. What were some of your thoughts on what you saw early on there in front of Armstrong's net? Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of energy, and we were winning the races. We got to shoot a little bit smarter. I mean, there's quite a few times where we're firing the thing wide. I mean, they got a good goaltender. I mean, we got to keep that thing low off the ice and. Crash for some rebounds. I mean, we're going to have a ton of snipers that are going to go, top corners all the time, but get it on net and just crash. Every goal counts.
There's a big age difference between your guys and the defense for Armstrong. Did you see some of that kind of come out in the early parts of the period?
We run a little trap on our forecheck a little bit, so, I mean, we try to make their D make some plays, and I think our boys are being patient right now, and I think we'll be able to pick up a few more passes as the game goes on.
It hasn't been the best year for you guys so far, but for people that are watching at home or that are fans of Osseo, what's one thing that hasn't been, apparent on the ice this year that you'd like people to know about your team?
I mean, we are getting better every day. We had a rough start, there's no question, but the boys are having a good time. It's a nice group of kids, and they're going to keep on getting better as the season goes on. We want to peak at the end of the season and not at the beginning.
All right, thanks so much. Best of luck in the second period.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks also to Coach Willie for taking a few moments to spend some time with us. We will take a break. We'll come back with more of our first intermission. Osseo leads Armstrong 1-0 here at New Hope Ice Arena.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Our score after one period, Osseo 1, Armstrong 0. Earlier this year, actually it was about a month ago, Trent Clapp, former Osseo High School star, was back in town. He's now with the New York Islanders NHL hockey team. Jay Wilcox had a chance to catch up with him over at Osseo Arena, and here is part of what Trent Clapp had to say to Jay.
Tell us a little bit about your position right now. What are some of the duties involved with your job with the Islanders?
Well, I'm the head amateur scout, so basically what I do primarily is travel around the country and around the world for that matter, trying to find kids that are draft eligible for the first time. Those are typically high school seniors. And the most difficult thing is actually comparing the different leagues that all these kids play in. Some kids are actually in college, some kids are in high school, some kids play junior hockey in Canada. I even end up in Europe watching some of the elite leagues over there. So to try to compare an 18-year-old kid at many different levels is a difficult task at times. And then on top of that, I also work with our players that we do draft. One of the things that we try to do is have a relationship with these guys. When they're 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, they don't have many people in their life right at that point in time telling them what to do or how to do it. So we try to just offer a little relationship with them, having been there, done that.
From your perspective now, how do you feel that Minnesota hockey is preparing kids for, potentially pro careers? Do you feel good about what you see when you go around to the rinks in this state?
I'm a little troubled at this point, to be honest with you. I think Minnesota is unique, and I can tell everyone that throughout the world, Minnesota allows kids to stay at home until the age of 18. Nowhere else in the world can kids do that. So I'm biased to that. I appreciate that. I don't like to see kids leave high school. There's no reason for it. Junior hockey is great. There's nothing wrong with it. And the USHL is a terrific league now, and much better than it was 20 years ago. But in my personal opinion, it's not a necessity.
With the Islanders now, how much time do you get to spend, actually seeing the big club or seeing NHL games, or is it pretty much you're on the road and not, able to be in the arenas very often?
I try to get out there as much as I can. I normally see 4 to 6 games a year. I've been doing it such a short time that there's really not a lot of guys that I've watched, we've drafted, that are there yet. So I tend to spend more time in Bridgeport, which is our minor league team.
Always good to hear from Trent Klatt, terrific high school player who's Mr. Hockey in Minnesota back in 1989. Nice career with the Gophers, and then 14 years in the National Hockey League. Started with 1 game in the final season that the North Stars played here in Minnesota back in 1992-93. Let's look at highlights from that first period of play. Osseo getting the only goal, but they had some other scoring opportunities. That one coming from Zach Heiser, and then later the puck coming out through the slot. Good save by Odell here as he stopped Tyler Stroh. Osseo getting the lone goal coming at the 7:36 mark off the face-off. Zach Heiser, the junior, unassisted. And Armstrong, very good scoring chance for them. Really their best one here. The rebound try. Connor Dahlberg sliding over and making the stop on Josh Adams after the first shot from Cole Gergen. Then Zach Heiser, a couple of good scoring chances for him from the final shift of the period. Keegan Odell able to stand up and make the save on him and keep it a 1-0 game. There's the shots on goal. Osseo with the edge and scoring chances 5-2. No penalties though in a clean first period of play. Osseo 1, Armstrong nothing after 1. We're back with the second period of hockey here at New Hope Ice Arena after this timeout.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Oh, hey, bud. Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
After one period, Osseo leads Armstrong 1-0 as the Falcons are back out on the ice for the second period. The end for the Armstrong Falcons. What do you want to correct that you didn't do well enough anyway in that first period?
Move your break out a lot quicker. The defense was kind of delaying and watching the forecheck is reverse it back out. Osseo got a good forecheck on one side, but bring it back through the other side to get it moving. Also, more people in front of the net. Get in front of Dahlberg. Don't let him see the puck easily and crash. If you're having trouble scoring goals, that's the easy remedy to it. That's what I'd fix with them. Osseo, I keep doing the same doggone thing. In fact, I'd probably activate the defense a little more and give them permission to go and add some more scoring punch. If they could get a couple more goals here, I think it'd do wonders for their mental attitude all the way around.
We talked to Osseo specifically before the game about some of the games they've lost to cancellation. They've got 3 games next week. They have a makeup game with Rogers on Wednesday and Champlain Park on a week from Friday, in addition to a regular Saturday game.
And those are really, really key games now, especially with Rogers being in the section and Champlain Park being 1 game ahead of the Orioles right now in the standings. If they could pull a win here and win those 2, that would change their outlook really good and really take away any chance of meeting Blaine in the first round, which you really don't want to do.
Right. Underway in the second period of play. Osseo Orioles trying to clear it out of their own zone, but Armstrong gains control. Centering pass that comes all the way through and all the way back down to the Falcon zone, where Gower will have to skate it down. Playing it back behind his net for McDonough. To the blue line, puck kept in, shot on net by A.J. Lyons there. Save made by Odell. Alexander for Osseo got turned around. That gives Armstrong a chance to skate it up out to center. I think we're going to have a penalty here, Dan, our first of the game.
Call interference or high stick. So Osseo's going to go down a man, and the Falcons are going to get an opportunity at a power play. Padula going off. So yeah, he took him off the puck before he took him off before he had a chance to play the puck. An interference call. So it's been a pretty penalty-free game, John. There's actually been some pretty good free flowing. Ooh.
Quick shot off the face-off, save by Dahlberg.
Nice face-off win by Gilbert here, John. Boy, I'll tell you, he got that back real quick.
Orioles able to clear it down the length of the ice. Armstrong will reset. Back behind the net comes McDonough.
Orioles are working at an 80% penalty kill rate, which is good. And the Falcons working at about a 20% power play rate, which isn't too bad, John.
Here's Gilbert carrying deep. Gilbert back out to the blue line. Shot from there, tipped and didn't get him all the way through to Dahlberg. On the shot from Gergen. Falcons have to skate it back to their own end. McDonough's back for it. 1:15 left in the penalty time. Ahead to the blue line comes Gilbert. Orioles able to take the puck away. Good penalty kill so far for Osseo. McDonough kept it in the zone. Shot for the blue line. Rebound backhand shot goes wide off the stick of Thomas Barber. Back out left point. Falcons control. It's Gergen now. Gergen moving across left side to the circle. Trying to slide it across, and fanning on the shot was Gilbert. Gilbert gains the puck back. Off to Gergen. Back for Gilbert. Shot it wide of the Osseo net. Holscher trying to push it back out to the blue line to McDonough. Finally taken by Stroh, and then Osseo able to get it out of the zone. 25 seconds left in the man advantage for Armstrong. They trail 1-0 here early in the second period. Pass was behind Sweeney and allowed Ledeen the chance to clear it down for Osseo.
So far, though, overall, John, a real good power play for the Falcons. They moved it well, created some good opportunities, set up the backdoor opportunities really well on them so far.
Penalty time has expired. Osseo back at full strength. Play to the corner, left to the net. Still in the Armstrong zone. Orioles really working for it there. Now it's McDonough that gains control for Armstrong around the end boards. Pass intercepted behind the net by Alexander. Taken back by the Falcons. Played by Rosbacka behind the net and cleared by Armstrong. They finally just iced the puck. Had trouble getting out of their own end.
Just they were getting tired. Boy, dead legs. They'll try to reverse, but their forwards are down too low. The Falcons have got to get somebody a little up high, take that pressure off, and don't let those Osseo forwards go in down low and get that forecheck, especially behind the net. And again, it's that experience. So that pressure that's being put on them is creating some decisions. But they tried to reverse that time. If they get a little higher, they might be able to break it out a lot better.
Heiser on the face-off win. Yeah, the shot and a chip and save made by Keegan Odell. A shot from Lyons. Look at it again. Looked like it was tipped in.
Yes, it was. I think Heiser got a piece of it. Boy, did they have him playing the wrong position for what it looks like, huh?
A nice game here at forward. Heiser gains control of the puck. Along the boards, gets a little push from Adams. To the blue line, shot, and another good shot on net by Lyons. Karam's all the way back down and cleared. It's icing again on Armstrong.
Well, you know, the Falcons just had a really nice power play, at least for most of it, and got some good momentum going, and all of a sudden, boy, the air just came out of the sails here. The Orioles just took control in the Armstrong zone and wouldn't let them out. They didn't get too many. They got 2 good scoring opportunities, but mostly just bottled in good.
Play around to the corner in the Falcon zone. Barber trying to get it out and does for Armstrong. Now a chance for them coming deep. And the save made by Dahlberg as Norgard got a rush on that.
Good play by Norgard and Barber that time, John. As soon as Barber got that puck deep down in the zone or halfway up the half boards, Norgard was on his way out, and that opened it up. And they got almost created a pretty good opportunity.
Holscher from the circle. Now it's Ledeen around the boards to Hoban. Back along the boards, comes out to the blue line. Shot by Norgard. Falcons able to keep the puck in the zone. Stumped to the corner by Piazza. Around the boards, back behind the net. Here comes Holscher from the circle. Back to the blue line. Kept in by Lawson. Orioles this time are able to skate it up and out. Hoban put it in on net, and Odell the stop.
A good little bit of pressure there by the Falcons. Just couldn't quite put it together, but are getting some opportunities now. Good shift by that line, and that's the Holster's line they want to see get going there.
Ottawa and Gergen on the face-off. Face-off win for the Orioles. Around the boards to the corner. Tie up, back to the point. Puck kept in and shot on goal. Cameron Perna, the sophomore D. Floats one past Odell, and it's 2-0.
Like a little odd movement on that, I think, that fooled Odell. But it was a surprise. Good shot, got it on goal. Sophomore put him up 2-0 here. We'll get a good look at it. Puck comes up top. Oh, I wonder if it flooded off number 4 there, Gower, the Armstrong D. Let's watch it tight here.
I don't think so. I think
good screen.
He might have just missed it.
Yeah, just a good screen.
For Perna, his second goal of the season.
Yeah, this is bonus time for the Orioles, John. They've got 2 goals on the game so far, and the goal scorers were not named Hodler or Christopherson.
Hodler and Christopherson assisting on the second goal of the season for Perna at 6 minutes of the second period. The Orioles lead at 2-0. Well, Coach Charleston had talked to us before the game. He said, I told our guys, don't remember that 6-1 win so much. We played well that night, especially on the power play, and they kind of lost focus. But that doesn't mean we're going to win tonight 6-1.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whole new ball game, whole new thing. We were talking too about both teams making changes and stuff and moving things around. Right now, the changes that Coach Willie Fino have made at Osseo are showing up. They're mixing the lines up a little bit, getting people in different positions. Obviously, we've seen the Heiser change. Oh my gosh, has that made a difference for the Orioles? So let's see if that continues tonight.
Shot by Perna here goes wide of the Armstrong net. Out on the back, tying up in the corner, got dumped to the ice. Alexander moves in. Verbatim got turned around, and Rowski has it now. Off for Verbatim behind the net. Oh, intercepted in front by Alexander, and Odell's got to make a huge stop. Another shot, a tip. That goes wide of the net. Another try out in front. Rebound attempt, and Odell gets out and pounces on top of the puck.
Oh, a lot of work for Keegan Odell here, by gosh. Good opportunity there. Second one going around, then they come right back again, get it in front. And all of a sudden, the Orioles are all over the place, and Odell finally smothers it. But boy, Alexander's had a tough night. His little snake bit, John. That's the second great opportunity he's had.
Right, still into the Armstrong zone. Dump it back behind the Falcons net once more. Lawson has it there for the Falcons. Now it's Piazza turning, giving it back to Lawson. Up on the wing, and they'll get it out. Holscher ahead trying to feed it to Barber. Missed him on the pass, and it's icing.
Oh, good opportunity. A couple good reverses there by the Falcons, and they got it out coming up high. So that was a good part of it. Couldn't quite connect on that third pass, and it got away for an icing and brings the puck back down into the Falcon zone.
Gilbert facing off against Vance. Puck cleared away. Pushed back into the Osseo zone. Orioles regroup with the Lions along the boards. And a whistle, and what was whistled here, Dan?
I think it might have been a hand pass.
Okay. Face off right outside the Osseo line. Face off win for the Orioles. A.J. Lyons, the captain, able to put it down into the Armstrong zone. Came to Gabe Gower there. Touched by Gilbert and down into the Orioles zone. Gilbert trying to get it back behind the net into the corner. Back behind the net. Ledeen now. And missed on the pass at center. And the icing on Osseo.
Good idea there, though. Gentlemen, noticing the Orioles and on that breakout. They're quick to reverse it. They're putting a little speed on it and trying some really fast breakouts. That was an open shot to the center. You don't see many passes to the center. Good opportunity, backfired because they got an icing, but that's one way to do it, though. You got to take some of those chances sometimes to get it out.
Shot from the blue line here, wide of Dahlberg, picked up by Hadala. Cleared up ahead, down into the Armstrong zone. Race for it. We're going to have another icing on Osseo. Falcons will go to Maple Grove on Saturday for their next game. Nice to hear that it's February 1st, Dan. We've been stuck in polar vortex January for a long time.
You use those two words again. Oh my gosh. Just so by mid-March, we're seeing 40s and 50s. I don't care. I'll live with this until then. But boy, we got to have a short winter this year.
Hadala will come into the zone, trying to center it out in front. Puck is free, taken around at the boards by Christofferson. And to dump it back for Hadala. Round right boards. Obaska able to push it ahead.
There you go.
Blood. Now from the blue line, Sweeney with the shot. Saved by Dahlberg. He'll drop it and leave it for Stroh. And Osseo breaks out. Hadala up the right side. Centering attempt. Missed his guy there. And we'll get a whistle. We got a slashing penalty coming up, I believe, on the Orioles. Another Armstrong power play. Ottawa going in for a second minor.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. This would be, this is kind of, you got to watch this. This is what the Orioles got themselves in trouble with the last time they played him, and they got him down 2-zip right. Armstrong down 2-zip right now. Don't give him an opportunity here. So this penalty kill is important.
A minor penalty assessed for the Orioles, number 17.
Ooh.
Mason Huntala, 2 minutes, 4.
So we'll see what the Falcons can do. They had a good stretch during that first power play of opportunity, trying to get some good opportunities, and did. Osseo able to skate that one off.
Well, I love the way Barber just demanded to be in front of the net that time. Got a couple opportunities.
Back from the blue line shot. It's off the glass, back behind the Falcons net. Taken by Gergen. Gergen will skate it up to the blue line. Trying to pass on his left. That pass was broken up. Taken back by Almquist. And ahead down into the Osseo Armstrong zone. Hoban got loose and able to get a shot, but it went wide of the Falcons net. Still another minute plus left in here in the power play for Armstrong. Gergen's pass off Holscher's skate. Shot loose. It didn't get all the way through to Dahlberg off the shot by Gilbert. Now it comes back out. Gergen's shot. That's wide of the net. Comes to Barber's stick. Back out to the blue line to McDonough. McDonough turning, trying to get away from a check by Stromberg. Gilbert back behind the Orioles net now, setting up. 35 seconds left in the power play. Came in front. Dahlberg able to steer it away back behind the net. Barber back out to the blue line to Gergen. Now it's Gilbert.
Last time around, the Falcons were trying the backdoor play. Now they're trying to feed Barber right in the guts there. See if he can get a stick on it. An open shot right in front.
Heiser clearing it down the length of the ice now for Osseo. Back down to the Armstrong end. Good job getting down ice for Stromberg, forechecking and killing off more of this penalty time by tying it up in the corner there for a good 10 seconds. And now the penalty time has expired and Osseo's back at full strength. Puck loose at the Armstrong line. Heiser trying to get his stick on it. Now does gain control. Heiser comes in. Nice drop pass. Shot, and that's broken up. Good defensive play by Blood of Armstrong, and helps send Armstrong the other way, and a goal for Gergen. Off of Dahlberg and in. And then Armstrong is on the board.
Dahlberg anticipating the pass to the off wing, coming in the backside there. He's playing for it all the way, and we'll see a good move by Gergen here. Now watch what happens. Osseo will go face off to the other side, and it gets caught on his inside pad as he was trying to come across. And then it went, and Cole Gergen gets the Falcons on the board. A big, big goal by the senior here. Did that go off one of the Osseo D? It might have too. It got it caught in that pad. So we're back to a one-goal game here.
Blood getting the assist. I mentioned he had stopped the play defensively at the other end, and Gergen is 14th of the year, and we'll look at it again.
Yes, hits the skate of the D. Yeah. Well, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, John. It didn't matter how it went in, just so it went in.
He had a man in front of the net, and it went off the Orioles player instead. So 2-1 hockey game now, under 6 minutes to go in the second period. Playing the Falcons zone. Gonrowski with it. For Baton. Up ahead. Good pass to center to Holscher. That's Barber on his left. Holscher a shot. And a save made by Tolberg. And then puck swept away nicely by Austin Ledeen.
Well, I'll tell you what. This Norgard, Holscher, Barber line for the Falcons has been their best line so far tonight, consistently all the way through. They've played a really complete game. They didn't score, but boy, some pressure right off the bat. Look at the move here coming in. Dahlberg tested, loses the rebound, and almost an opportunity there for the Falcons to tie this game up.
Ledeen, one of those guys that was a North Metro hockey guy.
Yep.
Dan is still a Park Center high school student. That North Metro hockey program disbanded before last season. So the guys that were Park Center guys have come over and are part of the Osseo program.
And 12 years ago, that wouldn't have been possible with all the rivalry involved. Man, oh man.
Faceoff will come back down to the Armstrong zone. Madeline Gilbert on the face-off here with 5:05 to go in the period. Face-off win for the Falcons. Oh, good check by Ledeen. He stood up Josh Adams. Falcons though control the puck. Lawson with it. Up to center to Adams. Knocked down. Back comes Alexander the other way. The huddle on his left. High shot. Over to that and off the glass. Ledeen trying to keep it in for Osseo at the blue line. Played back into the Falcons zone to Piazza. Rounds his net. Puck lost at center by the Falcons. And Hodala will regroup for the Orioles. Shot into the zone by Perna as he goes off for a change. Back out to the blue line. Shot away. There is wide. Ledeen hustling after it. Excuse me, Lyons rather. And back comes Armstrong. And so the play to Gorgon. And Gergen getting the shot on net. Good pass from Josh Adams.
Yeah.
Gergen able to get the shot on net, but the stop made by Connor Dahlberg.
Gergen just nicely played out, snuck outside the zone with the Osseo defense pressing and pinching hard. Kind of forgot about him, John, and it almost turned into a big problem, but got it up to him, and Cole Gergen with a good shot and goal. Opportunity for a face-off here in the zone.
And the Falcons win that face-off. Holscher back behind the net, number 7. Getting tied up by Tyler Stroh. Stroh for Osseo to the left corner, pushing it up the boards. And kept in by Verbatim. Back behind the net goes Holscher for it. Lost it to Stroh. Those two battle for it behind the net. Heiser trying to help out for Osseo. Gets past Verbatim this time. Ahead to the Armstrong line. Puck picked off at center, but Ledeen had to wait for his teammates to get onside before he cleared it in. Now back comes Armstrong. Holscher. Pass on the left side to Barber. Thomas Barber shot. Save made. Puck cleared to the left corner. Comes back to Barber, who takes a hit from Yonkers. Under 3 minutes to play in the second period. Stromberg from center, shooting it down into the Armstrong end. Gower for the Falcons, back behind his net for Baton. Baton taking a heavy check there from Yonkers. Tie up on a face-off in the Armstrong end with 2:35 to play.
I see Armstrong now just going 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1-2-3 on the line, but see a good check down here too. This is where Osseo's play has a little bit of an edge on that. Almost could have been a behind check from behind there. He did see number, but he did let up a little bit, so they didn't call it.
Face-off win for the Falcons. They chip it out to center ice. Back down to the Orioles zone where it was taken by Almquist. And a pass picked off at the blue line, and then a good job getting back defensively by Almquist. Take it away from Gilbert. Back come the Orioles the other way, then they lose it. Comes to Gower of Armstrong. Gower back behind his net. It's tied up there. Orioles have it. Big shot from the blue line, and it goes wide of the Armstrong net. Under 2 minutes to play now in the period. Play down in the Armstrong end. Osseo leading it here, 2-1. Right out in front, a shot saved by Odell as Holman was right on the doorstep. Good check back down into the Osseo zone, laid on by Kurgan, but Osseo has control. They got it out to the Armstrong line. Falcons take it back there, play it out to center. Way down to the Orioles end. Shot going wide off of Sweeney's stick. To the corner, around the boards, back out to the blue line, kept in by Armstrong. From the shot, from the circle, Sweeney's shot is deflected.
Boy, Sweeney came out here as one irritated individual. He just started throwing his body around here, and all of a sudden the Falcons got some time in the Osseo zone.
Vance can't clear. It's kept in by Piazza. Puck loose in the circle. Sweeney trying to get after it one more time. And this time Hoddle able to get it up for Osseo. Takes a hit at center. Comes to Alexander, center of the ice. Alexander with a shot. Goes back behind the Armstrong net. 20 seconds to go in the period. At the point, big shot and a good blocker save by Odell off the big shot from Ledeen. 7 seconds to go. Hoddle went down back behind the Armstrong net as the period comes to an end. Good second period of play, Dan Ficken.
Good second period. And I thought Armstrong did a nice job. They got that goal they needed. They made this a closer game here. So both teams will be tested here in the third period. It's going to come down to the third period, which is what you want.
We'll take a break. Our score after 2, Osseo 2, Armstrong 1. We're back with our second intermission from New Hope Ice Arena after this timeout.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong.
Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team. A winning team. The action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Osseo 2, Armstrong 1 after 2 periods. Let's go back ringside to Lindsey Gensel.
Thanks, guys. Now, Coach Charleston, a completely different second period for you guys in the first period tonight. You've got 1 goal heading into period 3, but you're still down by 1. What were some of the differences that you saw between the first period and the second period tonight?
Just our team kind of relaxing a little bit. You know, we're so young, and we start off the period, we're excited, we get a little out of position, we start running around. I mean, maybe a fatigue set in. Maybe they weren't so excited. Maybe they were a little bit more tired, so they made a little bit more better decisions, believe it or not.
Cole Gergen with the goal for tonight. What have you seen so far that kind of gives you hope that you guys might be able to equalize it in the third?
I think we had pretty good pressure there at the end and through the middle of the period. I think we're right there. Keep shooting the puck on the net a little bit more. You know, just capitalizing on our chances when we have a power play, getting players to the front of the net, getting pucks to the net. I think we're right there, but we just got to continue to work very hard.
You guys started off the season with a really great start for Armstrong, but right there in the middle as you hit off 2014 was a little rough. What do you think was the biggest change, and how do you think you'll go forward heading into February?
I think the competition was better, and I think we're not there right now as a team. Like I said, we're very youthful, but we don't always make that as an excuse. You know, those other teams, they understand the game a little bit better than we do. Systems, they understand the work ethic, what it takes. Some of them are juniors and seniors, but you know what? We hope to be there within the next year or so to compete much better with those top-end teams.
All right, take your crystal ball out for just a second. We've talked a lot about the youth on your team. Who is the one player that we should be watching in the next couple of years?
I would say Nick Holscher, definitely is a sophomore. Thomas Barber, another sophomore. There's so many to name. You know, Keegan Odell, I think he's going to play a big role in it. We have good goaltenders. Marsh, ninth grader, he plays. So Ben Schneider's sophomore, he plays. I mean, there was a lot of youth, and you can't name them all, but I think all of them, you know, has the ability to really rise up and do good things.
A few years left, most of them not even driving cars yet.
I know, absolutely. So as a coaching staff, you got to kind of, you know, white knuckle it sometimes, and you know, keep being positive. And you know what, the outcome isn't there some nights, but you know what, it doesn't make any sense to beat them into the ground and yell at them. We just try to keep them positive, know that we care, and try to help get them better.
No doubt, good things to come. Best of luck in the third period.
Thank you very much.
All right, back up to you guys.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thanks to Coach Charleston for taking time and spend with us after the second period. Our score is Osseo 2, Armstrong 1. We're back with more of our second intermission from New Hope Ice Arena after this timeout.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
The torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
The American dream need not forever be deferred.
This is the richest and the most powerful country.
It's 2-1, Osseo leading Armstrong after 2 periods of play in our boys hockey game tonight at New Hope Ice Arena. High school, a great chance for education to learn from students from other cultures, and Armstrong high school students are getting a chance to do that, and they're learning from some visitors from the Far East. 12 News reporter Ty Edwards filed this report earlier this month.
When you think of Japan, the martial arts might come to mind. Or the East Asian country's cuisine.
Do you like beef? Do you like sushi?
But Armstrong students on a trip to Tokyo and Niigata, Japan last year quickly learned that there's a lot more to discover.
It was a really exciting experience just to be able to go on a trip, all expense paid, to a country I've never visited before.
The mountain is called Mount Fuji.
That's right, free. The program is part of a stimulus package set up by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
It's based on your kind of grades and your overall character.
Around 2,000 Americans have headed or are heading to Japan by 2015.
They're really hospitable, just really kind and welcoming. So it was really interesting to see how, even though their culture is different from ours, it's really, they share a lot of the same core values.
And around that many Japanese will land in the U.S.
It's around a 6,000-mile flight from Kobe, Japan to Plymouth, Minnesota. Unfortunately for the Japanese students, they've come during the coldest week of the year.
It's very freezing, but my host family are very warm and kind to me.
18-year-old Yuto Yabuuchi has a brother back home.
After this, we'll go to the Mall of America, and then we'll go shopping a lot.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
He has gained 2 American sisters.
It's a good learning experience for me as well as for him because I get to show him what it's like to enjoy the American cultures and lifestyles.
Let's go to Japan! In Plymouth, Kaya Edwards, 12 News.
Thanks, Kyle. A great chance for all of those students to learn a little bit about students in the other country and how they live. Well, our score in this hockey game tonight is Osseo 2, Armstrong 1. Good one at New Hope Ice Arena. Take time out. We'll come back and we'll look at highlights from that period. And then our third period of play. We'll come back with more boys hockey on 12 Sports after this.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Osseo led Armstrong 1-0 after 1. Each team with a goal in the second. Our score 2-1 as we look at highlights from the second period of play. Cameron Perna getting his second goal of the year. Gave Osseo a 2-0 lead. That goal at 6 minutes of the second period. The assist going to Ben Christopherson and Mason Hadala. Connor Dahlberg able to stand up and make that shutout stand for a moment, but then that deflection off a defenseman's skate and gives credit to the goal for Cole Gergen, his 14th of the year. The senior making it 2-1. Good scoring chance for Brendan Hoban, the senior forward of Osseo there. But a good save by Keegan Odell. And it's still a 2-1 game. The shots on goal pretty even. The scoring chances still favor the Orioles 8-5. There's 2 penalties in the game, both in that second period against Osseo, but Armstrong 0 for 2 on the power play so far. We'll take our final break before we come back with the third period of Osseo Armstrong hockey after this.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Osseo up on Armstrong, 2-1. John Jacobson, Dan Fick, and Lindsey Gensel with you on this Thursday night from New Hope Ice Arena. Yeah, we're glad that snow came this morning rather than this afternoon or evening. We might have had hockey tonight.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, it just really came down surprising. The 2 to 4 inches turned into 8 real fast, but it's been a good hockey game. I thought second period, Falcons came back quite well, John.
Yeah.
Put some pressure on, got that goal they needed. Osseo's got to stay out of the box. I think if they keep giving him opportunities, we saw the Falcons getting real close to scoring on the power play. So I think they were told in between not to go in the box, play physical, but don't be dumb. And Keegan Odell has done a wonderful job with the Falcons in the net. I was just we were talking to Coach Charleston. He said he thought he might be the best sophomore goalie in the conference, and he might be right, although I don't know how many sophomore goalies there are in the conference. But he's done a very nice job. I like the way he gets out on top of the crease, and it's keeping him in games. It's been a tight one. It's been a good one. It hasn't been a 6-2 like the last time.
Dan, if you're Armstrong, do you think that for the players, the sticks are getting a little tight? I mean, they've been shut out 2 of their last 3 games, plus the first 2 periods. Here tonight, they got just the 1 goal. Are they pressing a little bit, or do you not see that?
No, I don't think so. I think once that goal was scored, that loosened them up a little bit. I think they are playing a little more freewheeling now, and they've created some opportunities, especially that second line we were talking about. Norgard, Holscher, and Barber have really stepped up the game and given them some momentum. I think Osseo, too, with the 2 main scorers not scoring, has helped them a lot too. Both teams are playing pretty good right now.
Good scrum for the face-off, and it's won by Armstrong. Quick shot, and the save by Dahlberg. Cole Gergen rifling a shot 7 seconds into the period.
Yeah, I appreciated Coach Charleston talking about Cole Gergen, one of the few seniors on this Armstrong team. You know, it's been a tough season, but I'll tell you what, that kid never quit. He keeps playing hard. He's a good example of these young freshmen and sophomores that are on the Falcon team.
Orioles get the puck out to center. Shot into the Osseo zone. And back comes A.J. Lyons for it. Lyons getting it ahead to Christofferson. At center, took a big check from Barber. Holscher with it. Able to get it to Barber in the zone. Trying to skate through a couple of Orioles. Now it's Holscher with the puck. Lost it. And banked out to center ice. Backhanded back in by Verbatim. Dahlberg leaving it for Stroh.
Mark my words, John, a year or 2, this is going to be one of the best lines in the conference if they stick together, and Barber's going to be a beast. He's going to be really hard to handle.
Jodorowsky got the puck into the Osseo zone. Falcons go off for a line change. It's Ledeen behind his net, got the pass up. Puck played up through center as a chance left side for Yonkers. He got stood up with a check. Puck comes loose. Shot, that's deflected. Stromberg had the shot. Comes to Heiser now. He had that first goal tonight. Off on the left side. Shot away. Odell the save. They whack at it. And a quick whistle. The puck was look to be still loose, but they blow it and will face off in the Armstrong zone.
Boy, nice play by Heiser getting in front of her, and Stromberg just standing there chopping wood, trying to get it through the pads of Odell. Odell coming up with a big stop, sitting just up top of the crease again, getting it covered. Oh my.
Tripping penalty called.
Osseo's going for their third in a row.
So the Yonkers, I think is going to go off.
Boy, the one thing they just really, I don't know. Boy, I'll tell you, one of these times it's going to catch up to them. I'll tell you what. You know, they can't give them so many chances for us to finally start putting something together here.
Yonkers for tripping at 2:44. Shot away and rebound try, and what? I don't know if Dahlberg got a piece of it or just whistled wide of the net.
Yeah, went up top in the netting. I don't think he got a piece of it. I think he just missed it with a quick.
Gilbert missed the net here. Oh, could have beat him top corner, but couldn't get the net. Here comes Barber, bringing the puck into the zone for Armstrong. Still a minute 35 on their power play. Back out to Gergen at the blue line. Gergen skating around, moving in, shot, and Dahlberg to save.
Looking better and better. The Falcons got somebody in front of Dahlberg. Dahlberg did pick it up, though. He's got a nice quick glove. They might want to go to the stick side, John, or go a little low. Keep it out of that glove situation. That Dahlberg has worked very well tonight.
Gilbert and Hoddle on the faceoff, won by Corey Gilbert. Back out to the blue line to McDonough. Now it's Gergen to Gilbert. Back to McDonough, moves in. Looking at it back to Gilbert on the back door, and goes wide of the Osseo net. Armstrong still controlling the puck, though. Good power play for them. Still a minute 5 left in it. McDonough winding up with his shot, blocked by Hoddle. And the Orioles trying to clear. They can't quite get it out of the zone. Kept in by McDonough. Now Hoddle gaining control of the puck and gets it out and down into the Armstrong end. Who's going to get there first? There's Heiser for Osseo.
Well, there's a surprise. Heiser first on the puck.
Can't do anything with it, though, and Armstrong gets it back. Holscher at center into the Osseo zone. Stops at the blue line. Gets the pass off to Barber. Trying to put it out in front for Gilbert, who is being tied up. Clear to the blue line, but nicely kept in by by Gergen. Another chance for Armstrong. Gilbert's pass was deflected. Comes to Holscher. Holscher dropping it back behind the net. Centering attempt, and it's in. I think another deflection, perhaps off an Osseo player again as well. Off Dahlberg and in. And Armstrong has tied it up, and Dahlberg can't believe it. Power play goal, and it's 2-2.
No, that covers it. Two good passes down low behind the net. Barber was out front, and they were covering him tight because he was open for the back door here. But we'll see if it goes off number 14 here. I think it might. Oh, no, it just hits.
Is it off lines or off Gilbert?
Off one of the two. I think it went off.
Or excuse me, off Dahlberg.
Dahlberg. And all of a sudden, man, we got a tie game.
Well, Gilbert gets credit for the goal at 3:36. And a 2-2 hockey game. Falcons come back one more time. Sweeney, and they miss on the pass. It comes out of the zone. Taken by Gabe Gower. Pass ahead, chipped ahead into the Osseo zone. Up through center, missed Yonkers' stick. Armstrong getting it. At the blue line, down to Armstrong zone. Lawson getting tied up by Heiser. Josh Adams up the left wing, a little bit past Sweeney. Down to the Orioles zone, around back behind the net. And Osseo clearing it down, it's icing.
Well, we're taking a look at the goal here that Falcons got. It comes in on a nice behind the back pass here, coming down low. Yeah, it hits the defense, 14 there. Lions, and bounces in behind Dahlberg, high off the post. Wasn't quite in there tight enough. And the Falcons get a break. Hard work paying off, not necessarily smooth, clean, and wonderful. Doesn't matter. Ends up in the back of the net, and we got a tie game. And Osseo's going to start feeling this pressure now, John. The juniors and seniors got to step up here now and really turn this thing back around for themselves.
Armstrong turning it over on their own end. Hadala trying to come across, and Odell does a nice job. Stays with him, slides across with him, and makes the save.
Little guy's a player, isn't he? That little sophomore, my gosh, he's done a fabulous job. Look at the moves down here. Good pass down low. Hadala comes across. Boy, Odell's right there with him. He gave him nothing, John. Smothered him. Nice play by Odell there.
Armstrong's had the better of play definitely here in the third period. They've tied it up. 2-2 game with under 12 minutes to go in the third. Puck played down to the Armstrong zone, and it goes wide of the crease this time, and it's icing on Osseo.
The next goal is critical. The next goal is critical. Whoever gets it, it's going to get that momentum going into the last part of the period here. You know, I really like the way the Falcons, John, have just really, you know, they got down 2-zip. Things weren't looking too good right now. Kept battling, created some of their own breaks. You know, mentally what that does for a young team, oh my gosh, I mean, unbelievable here.
Barber with a shot, he scores, and Armstrong takes the lead. The sophomore Thomas Barber with the third goal in a row for the Falcons.
His third in close, tight opportunity here, and he finally finds the back of the net. Good face-off win, and Armstrong's been good at that. Comes through, finds the short side, and Dahlberg beats the glove. Good hard shot. Nice play here by the Falcons. This line, John, you know, this has been the line that's turned it around for the Falcons, that have gotten them back in and put them in a position where they're in the lead now. They've done a nice job ever since about 4 minutes into the second period. This line has really turned the tables.
Chance for Osseo, and they come back and tie it up. Well, that didn't take long. And it's 3-3.
You know, we've been doing this for a while, John. I'm telling you what, we've seen some really odd bops of the puck here. The bounce is unbelievable. Big shot by Ledeen here. Goes off of Armstrong D and flutter pucks on Odell. He was down a little too far and he couldn't quite get up top quick enough to knock it down. And we got a tie game, and I guess justice is served a little bit here.
Right. Austin Ledeen with the shot and the goal. Is 7 seconds after the goal from Barber.
Scoring for Osseo, number 3, Brendan Hoban.
Oh.
Another chance for Armstrong. That one just went wide. And they announced the assist to, or the goal rather, to Brendan Hoban, who must have been the player with the shot, or with the deflection rather. We'll take a look at that again at the next opportunity.
I'm pretty sure that went off an Armstrong D. Of course, I do wear glasses. Let's understand that, fans. I do wear glasses.
Here's Hoban back behind the Armstrong net. Puck poked free. Ledeen keeping it in. It's back behind the Armstrong net. And controlled by McDonough. Jack McDonough trying to hit the long pass to Gergen and missed. And Perna got it for Osseo. Played ahead into the Armstrong zone. Skated down by Vervaeten back behind his net. Pass up to center to the Osseo line. Back comes Lyons. A.J. Lyons shot away. Saved by Keegan Odell. Heiser turns. Odell will save the rebound. They score. Seth Yonkers on the rebound. And Osseo goes back in front 4-3.
And I'll bet you 10-1 Heiser gets an assist on that one, John. What do you think there? My gosh, this line, the second line of Osseo has stepped up tonight. Well, look at the player. Heiser comes back around, gets his head up good, takes a look, puts the shot on the net, bounces in front. Yonkers is right there and bounces it off the pad into the top part of the net. And Osseo goes into the lead now.
Well, I think that there should be an assist to Heiser. Officially, it goes to Lyons and Funfar on the assists.
We'll see which team now settles down, John. Oh my gosh, we've had Farwagon hockey here for the past, probably 6 minutes here, maybe. It's just been back and forth, up and down, in and out. The kids are learning one thing: put the puck on the net, and amazing things will happen. It's been an exciting game.
Seth Yonkers, his second goal of the season. Race for the puck back into the Armstrong zone. And a win for Armstrong's Corey Gilbert. And now Osseo taking control. Back out of the blue line. Perna with a shot. Another chance from in front. And off Alexander's stick. It's back behind the Armstrong net. Taken by Gergen. Up to center. Shot back in by Perna. Cleared to the blue line of Osseo. Orioles ahead to the Armstrong line and shot down into the Osseo end. Icing though on Armstrong.
Take another look at the goal here. Heiser now, we'll see him get the shot on net here initially. Drops down in front, and there's Yonkers on it. Yeah, he should get an assist on that, John, for that play. That kind of fooled Odell. It took an odd bounce off him and dropped right out in front.
Odell working on his goalie equipment here. Go back to that third Osseo goal, Dan. This is the one from the blue line.
Well, watch 21 here now. Ledeen, he takes the shot, and watch what happens here. Yeah, I think it bounced over. They tried to give it to Holman, but it came off 26. Sweeney there of the Falcons. That changed the trajectory of that puck.
Ledeen getting credit for that one. That came right after the Barber goal. And then 80 seconds later, the goal we saw from Seth Yonkers. The Osseo goal scorers, Dan, all four of the guys that scored for them tonight.
Yeah.
All their second goal of the season.
Yeah.
You talked about it in the pregame. They've got 39 goals is all they've got for the season. 22 of them have come from two guys, Christopherson and Hadaw. So for them to have more success in the latter part of the season, they're going to need some of these guys to pick it up, and they've done that tonight.
Absolutely. I think we've seen one big change that the coaches made at Heiser at center rather than D has really sparked this team. It's made that second line way better, and they've been very effective.
Right circle, a chance. That one went wide off the stick of Perna. Back behind the net to the left side. Armstrong trying to regroup after they briefly had the lead, and they give up 2 goals to the Orioles, and they trail midway through the third. Wraparound try, didn't go. Picked up by Sweeney of Armstrong. And out past the blue line to center. Shot back into the Armstrong zone. No icing. Is skating after it is Gonorowski. For Verbatim. Up to the blue line, onto the stick of Josh Adams. Rink wide pass intended for Gergen, who took a good check from Lyons. Yonkers trying to move in with the puck, turned away.
Nice.
Pass ahead comes to Adams from Gergen. Adams carrying deep for the Falcons. Goes behind the net, takes a check though from Lyons and goes down back behind the Orioles net. Gergen taking a hit as well, and that allows the puck to come free to Osseo. Into the zone comes Ledeen. Lost it, now gets it back. Ledeen trying to center it, goes off the back of the Armstrong net. Got a 7:40 to play here in the third. Headman pass comes to Gergen on his right to Gilbert. Gilbert in the corner, taking a little bump there from Vance to the blue line. Puck kept in by Gower. Shot out in front, a chance to score. Gergen ties it up.
I think Gilbert and Barber are going to have part of this play too. I think good, bad turnover here, right here. Gilbert gets it, moves it over to Barber on the far side, and Gergen just right there waiting for it. Give me that, baby, I'm going to put it home. Got a tie game. What a beautiful play. And the senior comes through and ties this game for the Falcons. But the sophomores and the juniors are playing part of it, John. It's fun. We're watching the team grow up here right now in a tight, tense game.
10:43 of the time of the goal for Armstrong. Gergen, his second of the night. Barber and Gilbert the assists. 5 goals here in the third period.
Yeah, let's look at this goal again. It's kind of fun to get a tic-tac-toe look. We can see the turnover here. Bang, bang, and a boom. A jersey call on the goal there. You know, Cole Gergen has been spending a lot. He's playing a lot of ice time in this period. Danny Charleston's been playing him a lot, and that senior came through again. You're not going to see him off the ice too much, John. They'll put him back on defense if they need to, I bet.
So Armstrong comes back down. They get that tying goal after getting up to rather quickly to Osseo. And now we got a tie game with under 7 minutes to go.
That's one thing we're learning about this Falcon team. They don't quit. They're going to keep playing.
Janrowski playing it around near boards. Norgard for Armstrong. Turnover, and Osseo getting it back. Kept in at the blue line by Tyler Stroh. Around and back out. From center to the blue line. Armstrong's Adams will skate it up. Brought into the Osseo zone. Carried deep. Backhand shot. It's in. No. Yes, it is. I thought they'd waved it off for a moment. It is in. Gilbert able to sneak it in the near side. Past Dahlberg, and Armstrong's in front. 5-4.
Corey Gilbert, we called him player to watch. And a nice move here. Look at that. See it? Now I'm going to take it away and come in. And I like he stuck with his backhand, and he got it in. Oh, hit the post and bounced off the back of Dahlberg. Oh, he's got to be sick about that. Nice play by Gilbert, though. Again, get to the net, get the puck on the net, and watch what happens here. Falcons back in the lead with 6:13 left.
They get 2 goals a minute, 4 seconds apart.
I guess my call the next goal about 4 goals ago wasn't real critical, was it?
Like it's not. Gilbert, his second of the night. Gergen and Adams the assists. Here's Gergen coming in again.
You don't think Cole Gergen is in the heart and soul of this team, John? Boy, he's had a part in the past 3 goals.
Tie up in the corner in the Orioles zone. Falcons would like to get a face-off in that end. Now it's freed up. Shot on net. Dahlberg makes the save. Hey, Dahlberg's got to be shaking his head, though. He's like, 3 of these 5 goals are just weird. They've gone off him or off into somebody else's skate. 2 of them off of him, though, or that one off the pipe and then off of him.
Well, I think we say the same thing for Odell, too. The past few, he's seen some really weird-looking bounces.
Here comes Barber off for Gergen. Had his stick tied up from behind, and he still get a shot away. And saved by Dahlberg.
Well, they were talking to Coach Charleston there in between second and third. Remember how he said, get the puck on the net, get the puck on the net, get the puck on the net. Look at this. My gosh, we got 9 goals now after what? How many after 2 periods?
3 after 2 periods.
Yeah.
Yep. Off the face-off, Holscher. Right corner, centering pass for Barber, and the puck just goes wide.
Oh.
Around the board, still in the Orioles zone, behind the net. The blue line, Holscher keeps it in, and couldn't keep it in play, though. It's over the glass, not a play.
Osseo's really got to settle down here right now. I'll tell you what, the turnovers right now are hurting them, John. I think the last 3 goals that Armstrong scored have been on a turnover. Settle down. Move the puck around to your open people. They're there. Quit trying to force the issue into the Armstrong forecheck. Because Armstrong's been able to turn it around, so we'll see if they just settle down and play a little bit smarter hockey.
Ledeen trying to skate after it, but it's Christopherson who gets there first for Osseo. Up to center, down into the Armstrong zone. Ottawa with it, trying to get it behind the net. Now a shot, save made. Perna, another chance, and that one just went wide. Backhanded to the blue line, kept in the zone by Ledeen. To the corner, he dumped it. Gonarowski trying to get it to Verbatim. Sweeney moving in for Armstrong with a check. Along the boards, back out to the blue line. Whistled wide off of Ledeen's stick. Kept in by Perna, back behind the Armstrong net. Ottawa with it. Takes a check from Verbatim. And Sweeney with it for Armstrong. Pass missing too far on the left to Rosbacka. Osseo turning, getting it back ahead to Christopherson into the Armstrong zone. Taken there by Josh Adams, lost it. Ottawa's shot, steered away by Odell to the boards. Another shot, tip, and that one's saved by Odell. 3.5 minutes to go in the hockey game. Up to center ice, here's Adams with a try. Cut off on the wing by Lyons. Back behind the Orioles net. Around the boards, now dumped to the corner. Gergen, Ottawa right on him. Gilbert moving in, trying to get it out front for for Adams. Blue line came out of the zone, shot back in. It's offside on Armstrong.
That almost should be intentional offside there. I'm surprised they didn't call that.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly could have been.
Good pressure by the Falcons here, John. I'll tell you what, they're on fire. They're feeling it right now.
Heiser and Holscher in the face-off. Face-off win for Osseo. .235 to play. Osseo trailing now 5-4. They had the lead most of the way tonight, but a strong third period here for Armstrong. Here's Heiser for Osseo. Carries it deep, back behind the Falcons net. Puts it out in front. Save made, cleared away by Holscher, not a play.
Again, Heiser turning momentum around, getting down, creating an opportunity for the Orioles. He's just been a factor all night. Well, this is where your face-off wins are critical now, too. Armstrong's been, I'm pretty surprised at how good they've been, John. I think they've won most of them during this game.
Face-off win for the Falcons. Gonarowski then lost it behind the net. Chance in front for Osseo. Ends up on the stick of Gergen. Cole Gergen to center ice for Armstrong. In on the left side, shot going wide of the net. Big hit. Adams goes down in the corner. Puck around to the right side. Stromberg has it for Osseo. Up to the blue line to center ice. Stromberg to the Armstrong line. All the way back behind the Falcons net. Lost it. Cleared around. Kept in by Ledeen. Minute 40 to play in the third. Pass Gergen, and It's icing on Armstrong and the face-off back in the Falcons end with 1:36 to go. Not too much more time before we would expect Connor Dahlberg to come out for the extra skater.
Yeah, they should be communicating right now. They're talking about it, but they're going to have to get him out here. Probably about minute 5 left to go. Timeout.
Timeout taken with 1:36 to go. They mentioned there's been a wild third period, Dan. 2-1 Osseo coming into this period, and Armstrong getting the party started here in the third, getting a goal at 3:36. It tied it up. The goal from Corey Gilbert. And then Armstrong goes ahead. Thomas Barber putting the Falcons in front. 7 seconds later, the shot by Austin Ledeen flutters into the Falcons net. And then a minute 20 after that, Osseo goes back in front. Heiser setting up Seth Yonkers for the goal. And that made it 4-3 Osseo. And Armstrong answering with 2 goals a minute 4 apart. The first one coming from Cole Gergen, his second of the night. And then 64 seconds later, the second tonight for Corey Gilbert. And it makes it 5-4, and that is where we are right now with a minute 36 to go.
Well, nobody wants to lose this game, but if nothing else, they've both been putting the puck in the net, which has made it a really fun game. I mean, for both of them, because the goal totals for each of these guys coming into the game, 44 total for Armstrong, 39 for Osseo. That ain't a lot of goals for this point in the season.
Right.
So that's the good news. Now the question is, who's going to get the most points here out of this and the change in the conference standings? That's the big issue.
Otto and Gilbert on the face-off. Yeah, the extra attacker on the ice for Osseo. The empty net for the Orioles. Play down in the Armstrong zones. The Barber and the Falcons trying to get it out. Now it comes to McDonough. Back behind the net, off the glass and out of the zone. Puck free at center ice. The Orioles have control. Lions ahead, now in and offside on Osseo. Check just outside the blue line, helping set up that offside.
Dower made a beautiful, beautiful body check there that just slowed the whole thing down and took the whole rhythm off and threw him offside as they were coming back in the zone in strength. So,
we can get a penalty here? I did not see.
Yeah, probably it's an unsportsmanlike or some reaction off that hit. Bad timing though, Mr. Alexander. And Coach Willie not happy asking about it, but boy, oh boy. Bad timing on that one. Boy, that'll drive a coach nuts.
2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct at 16:48.
And the goalie's got to come back in because that faceoff's going down in the Osseo zone. I think we're waiting one more person come on. No, they got, one more's got to come off for Osseo. Ooh.
Down to a minute 7 to play. Armstrong now with control of the puck and saved by Dahlberg. Armstrong fans thought there might have been a little hit after the whistle. That one's not going to be.
Well, that was a bit of an Oscar award-winning performance there too, but nice play by McDonough there, getting it on net. Wasn't a real bad hit, no big deal. We're not going to call that, but McDonough made a good play, and he got a face-off again in that zone, keeping that goaltender back in that zone again.
A minute remaining in the third period in Armstrong's comeback hold up here in the final 60 seconds. Puck controlled by Gergen in his own end, back behind his net. Skating off some more seconds, playing it out to center ice. Intercepted there by Ben Christopherson, got it in to the Armstrong zone. McDonough across from Gergen, back to Gergen, missed on the pass, intercepted. Christopherson's pass intercepted back by the Falcons, and it Net is empty, and a score for Gilbert on the empty net. And a hat trick for the junior makes it 6-4.
Way to seal it off. That's the way to do it. And we highlighted him. Just a good play here. He had a wide open man, number 7, Holscher, on the other side, but he took it himself, got it in the net, and sealed the victory for the Falcons here. Just a disappointing, heartbreaking loss for the Orioles here as the Falcons battled back in an impressive fashion, John, after getting shut out last week badly by Andover.
Gilbert unassisted. Goals 9, 10, and 11 of the season for him tonight. At 16:33. Play in the Falcons zone. Osseo trying to get a late scoring try here. Now down to 10 seconds to go. And the Armstrong Falcons with a 5-goal third period come back and win it, Dan, 6-4.
What a nice comeback. A real, never say die, never quit type thing with these young Falcons, John. They good in it, I think, in a big way. And we saw some people start to emerge. The second line, I thought, really stepped up big time. Heartbreaking loss for Osseo. This is going to be a tough one to recover from. They had it, and boy, they really let it slip. And that penalty at the end, boy, what a crusher. What a crusher.
Armstrong improves with the win to 8-9-0 and 4-8 in the conference. With the loss, Osseo dropping to 3-15-1 overall and now 2-11 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. We'll take a break. Lindsey Gensel will be back with a couple of the winning Falcon players in a moment. You're watching live coverage of high school boys hockey from the Northwest Suburban Conference on Channel 12.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong.
Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Armstrong coming back, and they defeat Osseo tonight by a score of 6-4. Let's go back on the rink side, and Lindsey Gensel standing by with a couple of the Falcons.
Thanks, guys. Now I'm with Corey Gilbert and Cole Gurgin. And I'm Lindsey Gensel. I don't fit into the CG club, and I didn't score any goals tonight, but a big one for you guys tonight, a hat trick for you on a come-from-behind victory. Let's go through this. So the third period, you're down. A tie. You go ahead, it's tied. You go behind, then back-to-back goals to go to head, and an empty netter to seal the deal. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was an unbelievable game. It was just a lot of fun, really back and forth. Just a lot of energy coming from both sides, and lucky enough we got the bounces and were able to come out on top.
Your coach said before the game that he didn't want to give too much confidence to you guys. You know, you had a big win over them earlier in the season, 6-1, but a tough loss for you guys on the road against Andover this Saturday. What was that like, kind of a difference? Because that was the last time you were on the ice with the cold weather but no school.
Yeah, it's been a little different this year with the weather and everything, but every team's been going through it, so we really can't chalk that up to excuses. But we just really came out with a lot of energy tonight, and really we just got the job done and did what we needed to do.
What was the biggest difference for you in seeing what happened in the first period to how you guys came back in the second and then, of course, in the third?
I think the first period we didn't come out with a ton of energy, a little slow, almost, I wouldn't say lackadaisical, but pretty close to that. And just we really kicked it into gear in the later periods and really just got the job done.
All right, Cole, now 2 goals for you tonight. You're one of the eldest on the team. What has it been like kind of leading a team with so many youngsters on it?
It kind of seems like I'm the parent at times, but I like doing it. I'm one of the, like you said, the oldest on the team. We're a really young squad, so it's nice having all the young energy around.
I asked your coach earlier to take out his crystal ball and tell me who I should keep an eye on in the upcoming years. We've got the captain here. Who is the one that we should keep an eye on with Armstrong in the future years?
I don't know. It looks like you got to keep track of him. You know, he's been having a good year so far. He's still young. He's still young than compared to everyone else. So.
You guys had a great start to the season, a little rough there in the middle, but your coach said he's trying to kind of emphasize with you to take each of these games and use it so that by the end of the season you're ready to go out. What are you kind of your hopes as the rest of the season progresses?
We hope to win the majority of our games left. We have a lot of winnable games. Maybe steal a couple from the conference grades like the Elk River, Maple Grove, and get some momentum and get a better seed for sections so we're not playing the Benildes or the Wayzatas right away.
All right, a big win for Armstrong tonight. 7 goals in the third period, 5 of them coming from these 2 guys right here. A great win. Back up to you guys.
Thanks very much, Lindsay, and to Cole and also to Corey. And for Cole, he's really the only senior that's getting any significant playing time for Armstrong. And as it heads down the kind of the home stretch of his career, a nice win for him tonight and his team to come back and beat Osseo.
Oh, really? He did a fine job. He was very much a presence. He led his team well. He got key plays at the right time, especially the goals. He did a nice job as a leader. I think the coach identified him well. And this should be a tip of his hat for his senior year.
So Corey Gilbert, 3 goals. Cole Gergen with 2, and the Armstrong Falcons with 5 as a team in the third period. And they come back and defeat Osseo 6-4 tonight, their second win over the Orioles this season. That will do it for our telecast tonight from New Hope Ice Arena. For Lindsay Gensel, Dan Ficken, and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in for Channel 12's coverage of high school hockey.
Thank you.